And we are truly honored and humbled to be with you here today. We were asked to speak about empowering momentum, and we certainly will. But there are a few things we need to do first. Just like before, first we'd like to thank our Lord Jesus Christ, because it's by His grace alone that we're here today and given this blessing of LifeVantage. We'd like to thank our CEO, Steve Fife, and our entire corporate staff for leading this ship with professionalism and integrity. We'd also like to thank all you leaders up here in the white seats and all the executives in the building who have sacrificed so much to make LifeVantage what it is today. The culture that we all feel here is due to the integrity and character of these leaders up here who have done what's right each step of the way over the last 14 years. Thank you. Finally, we'd like to thank our amazing team. We know that God's put you in our lives for a very specific reason, and each one of you has played a vital role in helping thousands of people around the world in their health and prosperity. And you've certainly blessed our family's life in more ways than we can possibly count. So thank you. And to everyone in this room, congratulations. You made the sacrifice to get here to San Antonio. You're taking control of your life and your business. So as I said, we're going to speak about empowering momentum. And in order to do this, we need to start with the very basics. I firmly believe that the first step in doing this is to develop an all-in mindset or an all-in approach. Some of you may know our story, some of you may not, but it is certainly one of being all in. Samantha and I were a military couple. We first met at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, Beat Army, where she instantly fell madly in love with me. That took a few years, but I was all in, so it was worth the follow-up. We got married shortly after graduation. Sam was commissioned as a Marine Corps officer, and I became a Navy helicopter pilot. Now, due to deployments and different duty stations, we couldn't live together under the same roof until we were already married for 4 years, having our oldest daughter, Evelyn, along the way. Now, it sounds crazy, but I am very grateful for all that time apart those years, because it gave us a very unique perspective early on in marriage and early on in our life. We knew we wanted not only our time, we wanted our time together. We got married because we loved one another and wanted to raise our family together. And we were all in finding a way to make that happen. So we looked at our options. I could stay in the Navy for a full 20 years, only to collect a 50% retirement at the end and be separated from my family a lot during those years. Or I could get out of the Navy, go fly commercially, or go to business school and start climbing the corporate ladder. Now let me say this, there is nothing wrong with either of those career choices, nothing wrong at all. But we knew that none of those options were going to allow us to be truly together as a family on our terms, choosing how we spend our time and how we raise our children. We had a desire to homeschool our kids and experience as much as possible together, raising them with our faith. So when our good friend and fellow Marine officer, Sarah Gervasio, reached out to us about LifeVantage, we felt very strongly that it was the answer to our prayers. And from that day forward, we committed to LifeVantage like we committed to our marriage. We were all in, no exit strategies. Almost immediately after we enrolled, I left on a 10-month deployment to the Middle East, and so Sam was left with our 1-year-old baby to figure out how to get to our upcoming global convention in Salt Lake with all the responsibilities that come along with being an active duty captain in the Marine Corps. But we were all in, so she figured it out and she got there. Now, when I came home from that deployment, I came home to a booming business. Just kidding. We had enrolled one consultant in that year, and it was a package deal. Sam's parents, love you, Walton Marie, because they're watching all our 6 kids right now, and a very small handful of customers. It actually took about 3 more years for our business to truly take off. And even though our paycheck with LifeVantage wasn't backing us up yet, we absolutely believed that we would succeed because we were all in. In fact, when I came up for a new assignment just a little over a year into LifeVantage, I told my boss that I didn't want to take flying orders. I told him that instead, I wanted to take a non-flying shore tour so I could focus on building my network marketing business before I got out of the Navy in a few short years. Now, just to make things clear, as a Navy pilot, this is an absolutely career-killing move. If you're out of the cockpit, it's really not a good thing. So naturally, he thought I lost my mind. He went to our commanding officer and told him, and within a week, I had to spend an hour with each of the 4 other department heads in my squadron for counseling to try to talk me away and talk me out of throwing away my promising naval career. Now, don't get me wrong, I was honored to have the opportunity to fly as a naval aviator, but I looked each one of them and told them respectfully that I didn't want my life to look like theirs in 5 years. And I had found a business that was going to change the course of my family's life, and we were all in. Yeah. And my point in saying all of this is we didn't wait for our income to confirm our belief in LifeVantage. We knew it was real because we attended every event and met the leaders up here on the couches and people from all walks of life working towards achieving this dream with LifeVantage. That told us that we just simply needed more time to grow into the leaders that our future team deserved, and we were all in.
So the very first thing that you need to get really crystal clear on is your vision for LifeVantage. It's important for you to be really honest with yourself about this. And we highly encourage you that if you are married, to be in full alignment with your business goals with your spouse. Seriously, trust us on this one. And it's, not everybody's gonna have the same vision that Ray and I had, and that's totally okay. Some of you may love our amazing LifeVantage products, and you may like to share them kind of casually with people, but you're not sure that you wanna build this huge team. That's okay. Some of you may also truly just love this family culture that we have here, right? And coming to these events probably inspires you and fills you up. And that's okay if you love getting that out of LifeVantage. And you're welcome here no matter what. And whatever your goals are, we will be here to support you. And what a blessing, now more than ever, that our compensation plan will reward you and allow you to get in where you fit in and also make a really nice side income while you're getting healthy, getting inspired, and being around all these amazing people. But if you're sitting in these seats here today because you have a similar dream that Ray and I had of making LifeVantage your full-time business, then it is truly imperative for you to listen to the leaders that have gone before you in this and do exactly what they have done. Ray and I took what our mentor said very literally. So I'm gonna explain to you how we kind of channel this all in commitment and determination to really elevate our businesses. First, you have to start with tangible goals and timelines. When Ray and I began, we knew we had 7 years because that's when his Navy flight contract ended. As the years were going by and we weren't getting even close to the income goals that we had for LifeVantage, we realized our clock was ticking faster and faster. And Carrie Dickey always says, your business will never be bigger than you. And boy, is that the truth. Ray and I knew we needed to really dig deep and figure out what we were missing. What exactly were we not doing that these leaders were doing? And so for the very first time in our LifeVantage business, we sat down together and did a really serious goal-setting workshop. We chose the Jim Rohn goal-setting course, which you can find it on YouTube. It'll take a little over an hour to complete because you're going to go through very thoroughly your life goals with specific timelines. Next, we made a dream board. And at first, it sounded kind of cheesy, but we decided, you know what? This is what we've heard so many of the industry leaders say that they've done, so we're gonna do one. And we sat down with our children, involved the whole family, and we printed out pictures of all the things we envisioned for our life. We printed a picture of our ideal, beautiful homeschooling room. We printed pictures of the places that we wanted to travel to with our family. We printed pictures of the type of property we wanted to raise our children on. And we printed a picture of that My Life Venture Freedom Jeep. And we had words and phrases on there, things like living a purpose-driven life, freedom, being able to glorify God in all that we do. And so those words and images were physically in front of us every single day in our home as we passed by them up on the wall. Now, the next thing that we realized was that the leaders were always qualifying for these incentive trips. So Ray and I looked at the next one and said, we are gonna do everything in our power to get on that trip. And because we know it's really not just about being wined and dined and going to a beautiful resort. You're gonna get that, absolutely. They treat you like royalty on these trips. But it really is about that time getting around the elite group of top earners in LifeVantage. We mapped out all the possible ways to maximize points, and earning that trip became our sole focus over the next several months. And we did it. At the end of 2016, about 3 years into our business, almost 4 years, we finally earned our first incentive trip, and we went to Cancun, all expenses paid by LifeVantage. And it literally changed everything for us. We met a group of leaders who were having rapid success in using specific social media strategies. And they graciously opened up their playbook and shared how they were using Facebook to grow their business. Now, what we found after talking with them is that they were teaching exactly what our LifeVantage mentors had already taught us to do throughout the years, in principle. They were just using a different tool. And just like that, a little light bulb went off for us. And that single decision to qualify for that incentive trip changed the trajectory of our business and life forever. How so? We had been stagnant for the previous 2 years before that trip. But when we returned, we rank advanced 3 months after. We qualified for what's now the Growth Summit 2 months after that. And our team began to grow and grow month after month. And 2 years later, we hit the executive ranks. And many families on our team advanced as well. So the 3 things: by setting serious and tangible goals with a goal setting course, by making it visual with a dream board, and by deciding to qualify for that incentive trip, we were able to launch our business into serious momentum, and it ultimately allowed us to fulfill the dream that we had for LifeVantage, which was to bring Ray home with us as a family. The following winter, he was able to completely walk away from the Navy with 0 retirement income. And we've had Ray home with us, working side by side, raising our children on our farm for the past 3.5 years now. This business with LifeVantage has allowed us to buy a 50-acre homestead near the Blue Ridge Mountains and raise our children, 6, soon to be 7 children, and it's just been such a blessing. It also allowed us to earn that Freedom Jeep, that My Life Venture Freedom Jeep. It's allowed us to travel the world through amazing incentive trips. And even more importantly, the most important in fact, is it has allowed us to call the shots in our life and not be bullied around by employers or government mandates or anything else that conflicts with our faith and our values. This business has blessed us with the ability to ultimately do what we believe is right and to spend our time with those we most cherish. And you guys, this is literally a dream come true for us, which is why we are so passionate about helping each and every one of you to achieve your dream and to fulfill the ultimate purpose that God has called you to.
You good here? So through our last decade with LifeVantage, we've come to find that you simply cannot overemphasize the importance of training, mentorship, and support in order to achieve rapid success. Now, you obviously know from our story, we didn't have rapid success, but success does leave clues. And we've now spent the last decade learning from all of our leaders here in LifeVantage and leveraging your all experience over multiple decades in the industry, which leads me to the first point in the role of training. In order to be trained, you must first humble yourself. And honestly, this was pretty easy for us in the beginning because we had no experience in the industry. And honestly, we didn't even really have a whole lot of life experience either at that point. We knew nothing. So we also knew that we trusted our leaders because you guys up here had already achieved what we wanted to achieve for our families, and you did it with integrity. So we plugged into every training we could get our hands on, whether it was Carrie and Stu's Monday call, corporate training calls, or the countless YouTube videos out there. And it's so important to understand that if you've never been successful in network marketing before, you cannot assume that you're just going to know the path. You absolutely must listen to your mentors who have proven track records here at LifeVantage. Another piece, you probably heard it 1,000 times this weekend, that's so important, is attending all events. Because you get to meet in person not just your team and upline, but also the leaders here in LifeVantage who will help support, inspire, and encourage you in your journey here at LifeVantage. Over the years, we've built countless relationships with so many of you, upline, downline, and crossline here, because we understand the value of the meeting after the meeting. In the hotel lobbies, in the restaurants, when we all leave this room, and we get to share our stories with one another and build relationships that are going to help carry us, mentor us, and support us all here towards achieving our goals. Now, I'll tell you, over the years, we personally had many reasons we could have used as excuses not to come to events like this, like babies being born, tough finances, having 6 kids, deployments all over the world, you name it. But we understand the value in events, and our leaders told us never to miss one. And that the only way to achieve the goals that we had set for our family was through sacrifice and being resourceful enough to figure out a way to make it happen. So if you're brand new to this, you may not have anyone in your downline yet, so lean on your upline. But if you've been around for a little while and you're looking for ways to nurture your team and motivate them towards collective success, we'd like to share a few strategies with you.
Number one, we always want to remember that the brand new person is the most important. They are the lifeblood of any organization. And so we want them to feel welcomed and seen, but not overwhelmed. So we do this through our private Facebook team group, and that includes all of the consultants on our team. Again, work with your upline on this because they may already have a group for you. If not, you can create one. In that private group, we encourage our consultants to welcome their new team members. Post a picture of them and a little description of why they joined LifeVantage. And so the entire team can welcome them, and that new consultant immediately feels supported. In the group, we also shout out wins that people are having daily in their businesses, whether they just enrolled a new customer or a consultant, or maybe they did their first Zoom presentation or Facebook Live or hosted an in-home event. We encourage the team to give virtual high fives in this group so everyone can feel seen and appreciated, but also so we can all be inspired by the momentum that others are experiencing. Now, a second thing that we do to nurture a strong team is to hold weekly Zoom meetings. And we like to have them nice and short and sweet, about 30 minutes, so we can all see each other's faces and kind of welcome new team members, hear any success stories with the products or the business that people are having, and answer any questions or share insights. A final thing that's been so impactful for our team in motivating everyone toward collective success is running challenges. Now, LifeVantage so generously offers incentives for achievements in business, things like rank advancements and new enrollments and growing our sales volume. But when we began running our challenges around the rank of about managing consultant 2, we wanted to reward our team for behaviors rather than outcomes. And we felt that incentivizing them to form those daily business building habits would ultimately lead to the results that they were looking for, like enrollments and sales growth and rank advancements. And we found that this was a really effective approach. So the main challenge that we have run many times over the past 5 years revolves around our daily method of operation checklist. And we made a one-page checklist that encapsulates the key business activities that we believe make the most impact on intentionally growing your mindset and network and help you to build sincere relationships with more people so that you can ultimately find those people who are going to join you as customers or consultants. Now, our checklist focuses mainly on Facebook activities, right? Things like making a post, adding a new friend, sending a message, commenting on other friends' posts, being inside of Facebook groups and making a comment there, Facebook groups of like-minded people. And of course, always starting with 30 minutes of mindset, reading or listening to books or podcasts about personal development and network marketing. That whole checklist, it can be completed in 1 hour with focus. And our challenge is very simple. Complete this checklist and you get a prize. And if you complete it, you need to post the picture of it inside the Facebook group so we can hold ourselves accountable. The prize that we like to give out is usually a LifeVantage product, something like a bag of Axio or a box of collagen, maybe a bottle of Protandim. But as a leader, you need to determine what works well for you in your current business budget. You could start with something smaller, maybe a bottle of our True Science hand cream or a few sticks of Axio. It's a good place to start. And while everyone loves winning a tangible prize, the real reward is the skill and discipline that's developed after completing a challenge like this for 30 days. Those who complete these challenges report that they grow in some measurable way, whether they enrolled more customers or consultants than ever before, or just made more connections with more people and built their confidence in how to do this business. And collectively as a team, we feel that momentum growing. In fact, we ran the DMO challenge on our team in the beginning of this summer, and then again, another 30-day challenge in September leading up to this global convention. And not only did Ray and I personally win the incentive trip to Punta Cana and qualify as executive consultant too, many people experienced record sales volumes. Several rank advanced, one earned the Punta Cana trip, and one even advanced to the leadership rank of managing consultant too. And we couldn't be prouder of each and every one of them for the commitment that they made.
So there you have it, guys. Success leaves clues. Now, Sam talked about our challenge and the checklist we use. If you like this idea, determine what the daily activities are, the key activities that have made your team successful in LifeVantage, and make it your team's checklist, make it your own. Now, these activities need to be obvious, measurable, and something that everyone at any level can do. Finally, if you have a goal of coming to Nashville with new rank advancements to celebrate, I'm sure there are a few of you, set a challenge for your team. Whether you're a leader of 2, 20, or 200, you will be amazed at what can happen when everyone is rowing together at the same time towards a common goal. We love you, thank you, and God bless you all.